All right, another day at the gun bench. How y'all doing, YouTube? It's Outdoors with Tim. I know you hadn't seen me in a while, but I'm glad y'all are here. Listen, we in the gun room this evening doing a little bit of experimenting. After reading some literature and looking at load data and all that kind of stuff and different types of hauls that people have to use when times get tough in times like these now, right? But anyway, I want to share something with you. These here are once fired 2 3/4 Remington, ain't they? Winchester, I'm sorry, I had some Remington up here. 20 gauge hauls. These are slug hauls, and I want to show you something, how well these things load for number 3 20 gauge buck. 20 pellet load now. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the data that I use. It works for me. I'm not recommending anybody else do this. I am not a professional by no means, but I enjoy reading load data, experimenting on the bench. I've already fired some of these loads from a single shot 20 gauge, and they work very well, so I know they're safe, and that's another reason why I just want to share my experience here at the gun bench on the 20 gauge mech reloader press. So if y'all will, stay tuned. I'm going to show you something, okay? All right, so first of all, we're going to be using the 2 3/4 Winchester shotgun slug once fired haul. We're going to load 2 of them. It's not going to be a long video, but I want to show you because it's really important. We'll be using some of these 2 3. These are the PT 2091. These are for 2 3/4 20 gauge. Okay, they do make these. I think they're a PT 2090. I think that's for a 3-inch haul, but we are loading the 2 3/4. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that the other ones I just named off are for a 3-inch haul. But anyway, we'll be using those. We'll be using some 20 gauge shot cards, and we'll also be using like hen's teeth. Thank you, Brother Wade. We're going to be using some of these 209 primer. You know what they are. That's what we're using here. Some of the material we'll be using, and we'll also be using some this is number 3 buck. This is some hand casted, I believe, that a good brother in Christ sent to me to try out. Seems to be working pretty good. But anyway, let me go ahead and get one of these loaded up and show you how it turns out. Okay, so first of all, we want to knock out our old primer, of course. If anybody's watched any of my videos, then you know we got to deprime so we can reprime. Some people say decap, recap, whatever. Take out the old primer. I'm putting in a new primer. We'll come down and go ahead and set it. We got our new primer in, guys. Y'all can see that, right? And I got the camera light on the camera right now. It seems to be that in the gun room, even with good light above my head, and I got a light over here I don't have on, but if I don't put the camera light on, the autofocus is messing around on the camera, and it makes it hard for you guys to see what I'm doing. So anyway, we got our new primer in. We're going to go ahead, well, you know, before we do anything, since I got my new primer in, I also want to tell you how much powder that I'm dropping. So let's go ahead and catch some powder. This is the best way to do it. Just, you know, do it just like if you were going to load the shell. And I'm running green dot in here. I know a lot of people say, oh, the blue dot. But I can tell you, looking at my Hercules book, the green dot is usable. If you got it, use it. I mean, powder's not always available. So anyway, we're going to put this in our powder scale here. And now I use the Lee grain scale, old school stuff. So y'all don't be laughing at me, but hey, it's accurate. It tells me, you know, how much grain I've got in my shot. So let me back this up and I'll tell you right quick. We are, get this thing to quit bouncing. Stay with me. Looks like we're about 15.5 grains of powder. That's pretty good. So since we went ahead and dropped this, and I know that I'm good for it, this is the one that I just primed. I'm going to go ahead and get it down in that shell there and hang that back up. So we're 15.5 grains of the green dot. We'll go ahead and place that shell back up on the station here. Bring this wad down in here. Now this wad will still need to be pressed down in here a little bit more. So I'm going to make sure it gets a good fit. And I like to use this little plastic rod that I keep in my drawer, and it works good. So I use it. You know, I know if you watch Bubba Roundtree Outdoors, I think he's got like a wooden stick or something, and he's been using it for years, and that's what works. See, I'm not an expert by no means. I think I already told y'all that, but this is what works for me. But I do want to share it with you. All right, so now we've got our PT 2019 or 91 2 3/4 wad in there, and I got 20 pellets of number 3 buck, and I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of pour this in there, and if I have to, a lot of times they just fall right in place. So you get a little tap, beautiful. Now you look at that right there. Now when I get done here, this thing's gonna be beautiful. Now this is a shotgun slug haul. Now these are awesome. I'll tell you, I know y'all probably have seen all kinds of things on a gun bench, and I just use this little crooked tool to press, make sure I get a good fit on my shot card, because I want it to be in there nice and beautiful, straight too. All right, so we'll go here to the station 4, and we'll put that pre-crimp, and then we'll put the final crimp. And I like to press on it sometimes, but I'll tell you guys, if you ever wonder, you know, will this stuff work? Yes, it will work. And here's the proof. That's it right there. There's a little tiny hole right there in the end of it. Now, I don't have any epoxy or clear fingernail polish like I learned on Bubba Roundtree Outdoors, but I will be putting some on there. But this is a 20 pellet, once fired, shot, no, it's not a shot shell, I'm sorry, this is the slug. Let me stay on key here. But it loaded beautiful. And I've already shot some of these, and it'll come out right every time. So there you go. Let's see. Put that back right there. All right, so we'll knock out this primer here. Decap for all the ones that want to be politically correct. In the gun room here, there's no political correctness. All right, so we'll drop that primer in there. As you can see, that Shadite primer sits real good in these Winchester holes. And then we'll go ahead and set that in there. We'll bring the handle down, knock it back over, because I don't have no shot over here. So the last time I knocked it over, it was, you know, it dropped my powder and then it was over here. So now I have to knock the charge bar back over to get that shot in this bushing right here. So I'm going to go ahead and slide that over. I know I just dropped my powder. I'll go ahead and take my PT 91s and bring it down. Repeat the process again with my little fancy push rod here. Works real good. I don't know if you can see down in there, guys, but that is in there beautiful. So we'll go ahead and get us some buckshot here. I think drop 20 pellets. 1, 2, 3. Make sure they're dropping in right. 4, 5, 6. Yep, they're dropping good. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And they're dropping in there, they fall right into place. I mean, you just, now that you know it's 20 count, that's what you go with every time. And I mean, they fit perfect. I mean, I don't have to do anything. Now I'll take this 20 gauge shot card and I'll put it right there on the top, and I'll help it fit in there. You know, I want to get it square. I don't want it to go in cocky-eyed and get pressed in there kind of funny. And there you go. Beautiful. So we'll go ahead and do a pre-crimp on this. and then do a final crimp. That's it. Final crimp. Right there, guys. No bulging, nothing. This thing will slide in and out of the breech of a 20 gauge shotgun all day long and eject with no problem. Well, guys, that's it. A short video, but I really wanted to come in here to the gun room tonight and just mess around on the bench. I loaded a bunch of target load for skeet, and then I had, you know, some of this 20 gauge stuff laying around, and I said, I'm going to experiment. So I did, and I took these once fired 2 3/4. They used to have number 8 shot federal hulls, and they loaded up really nice. I can't say anything bad about how these loaded up neither. These were once loaded factory loads, number 8 shot, and I reloaded them. And they are loaded with 20 pellet, number 3 buck. So, you know, deer season will be here before we know it, and it's good to have a little bit of this stuff on hand, and that way you ain't scrounging around for it come deer season. Well, anyway, guys, I want to thank y'all for joining me here in the gun room again. Outdoors with Tim. Remember to go ahead and like, subscribe, share the video, drop a comment. Please don't be mean if you don't like what I'm doing on my bench. Remember this, I'm not a professional. I never claimed to be. I'm always learning. I've been loading for a few years, and I know the only way you learn and get better at the bench is by trial and error and paying attention to other people who are well at what they do. You guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. And we'll see you next time. God bless y'all. And we're gone.